Good morning, folks. I'm going to perform an operation on my Jade this morning. So I got this Jade at work. It was abandoned and it was long and leggy, which is typical of Jades that are grown in dim offices. And that's what's great about Jades. You can grow them in dim light and they'll still survive and they'll grow slowly. When you grow them in good light, I've been growing this now underneath my grow light, you get tight internodes like I have on this one. I didn't really like the shape of this plant, and my plan was to take some of these branches, in particular this branch I really like, and I was going to cut it here and root this branch and start a new bonsai with it. And I was going to do the same with this top part of the Jade here, and just start two smaller bonsai. But rather than sever these from this big nice trunk that's quite old, I changed my mind and I'm gonna just cut the trunk about right here, and shorten this, and basically take a huge cutting, and yeah, that's my new plan. Okay. Kind of got nervous all of a sudden. There's no going back from this, but again, it's not gonna kill the plant. So there's like a node here and a node here, and I'm gonna cut a little below this node right here, which is where I think the new roots will come out of. And this is pretty awkward. I want to put it down on a cutting board and cut it like a piece of celery, but it's standing up. So I'm gonna go for it. Okay, yeah, it's going in. Ta-da! Alright. What's done is done. There it is. Here's what the interior looks like. So I'm gonna let this callus over now, dry out for a few days. And I need to find a pot to put this in. So it's been a few days. I'll let this dry out. I'll show you what it looks like. So it's dry, and I'm gonna put in a pot. So you might see, where are all the bonsai? We're having a heat wave, and it's gonna be 91 today, degrees Fahrenheit, and that's not unusual summer temperature for us, but that's like a month or two from now. So it's gonna be like the hottest June 9th or whatever on record for like the last 100 years or something today. So I just moved them into my side yard, into the shade just for today. Maybe tomorrow I'll move them back, because we're gonna get more typical temperatures of highs in the 70s degrees Fahrenheit. So anyway, I let this dry out. I've just been keeping it outside in the shade. It's just been growing inside, and I'm gonna put it in this pot. And it's nice and heavy. It's from my friend. I think it'll do well, because this is actually pretty hefty. It's full of water and top heavy. And I have these, they're actually shoelaces here, because I'm gonna try and use those to secure it in the pot so it doesn't tip over. I don't know if I'll be successful. If that doesn't work, I'll just put a whole bunch of heavy rocks on top to keep from tipping over. So first I'll fill up the bottom with some bonsai soil. I'm gonna plant a little deeper than I will really want it ultimately. That's because I have to just bury the stem for a bit so it develops roots. So I got in trouble for using the Woostaff. I kind of knew I would, but I thought I'd get in trouble after the video was published. I'm not sure how my wife found out. Anyway, I don't know why I didn't use an older kitchen knife. I guess I only wanted the best for my bonsai. It reminds me of the time I used my mom's sewing scissors to cut open one of those popsicles, like Otter Pops or Flavor Ice, like those popsicles in plastic sleeves. I used her sewing scissors to cut one of those open. I got in trouble for that too. Don't do that, kids. Don't use your mom's sewing scissors for popsicles. but I don't think I'll be using the wood stuff again. I don't foresee having to use it for bonsai ever again. All right, so actually this might work. And actually I got this idea. I watched this bonsai channel. It's Japanese. Maybe I'll find the name of it and post it here. All right, actually, you know what? That's pretty secure. I still might put the rocks on though. Yeah, because it's still pretty tippy, but I'm gonna fill it in with soil now. Yeah, I don't know, that's still pretty tippy. I don't know if these cords are actually, I mean, they do something for sure. They're holding it in place, but it's moving around a lot. And I'm not gonna water this again. I'm still not gonna water it because it's dry, but it wasn't like super dry. So I'm just gonna leave it in this dry substrate for another week before I throw any water in there. But yeah, maybe I'll also do the rocks. Baby robins are noisy today. Alright, so here it is. So off camera, I did decide not to use those cords, those shoelaces. They were doing a little bit to hold it in place, but they slipped around a bit on this round pot, and I figured they were just gonna fall off eventually. And the rocks are doing a good job of holding it in place and not moving. Especially if I don't move it around too much, I think the rocks will be sufficient. So again, I'm not gonna water this for another week or so. There's probably a minute amount of moisture in the pot, in the soil, that might be enough to stimulate the jade growing new roots. And yeah, again, it's planted really deep in the pot, deeper than I envisioned finally. And I don't know if this will be the final pot. It actually is a little bit big for it. But again, I want something heavy because this is quite top heavy with 0 root. So I want something heavy that it wasn't gonna tip over while it develops roots. Anyways, I'll keep you updated on the progress, and until next time, happy bonsaiing.